Welcome to the ArmaniTalks YouTube channel, the #1 YouTube channel for you to level up your communication skills. Learn the art of public speaking, social skills, and personal branding to take your message to the world. For today's episode, I'm going to be taking a pretty unique approach, and I'm going to be combining an element that's needed for public speaking, social skills, and personal branding. Can you guess what that is? It's the mindset. The mindset is very crucial, especially when you're going to be communicating at all. Because think about it. Imagine you are in the public speaking world, you're doing a speech, and someone boos you. What are you going to do? Are you just going to freeze and cry? For the social skills world, imagine if someone calls you a mean name. What are you going to do? Are you going to panic? And for the personal branding world, imagine if someone leaves a very rude comment on one of your videos. How are you going to behave? Mental toughness ties into all three of these different elements, and that's exactly why I want to talk about mental toughness today. And I want to give you some practical tips to make sure that you're making the most out of your mind, because your mind is going to serve as your best friend and is going to be a huge tool for you in terms of communications. Mental toughness, what does it mean? I remember a few months ago, I heard this brilliant definition for mental toughness, so brilliant to the point where I was like, all right, that is my definition for mental toughness as well. You ever seen something that's so simple and to the point? It went something like, mental toughness is going from loss to loss without a loss of enthusiasm. So you're basically losing and losing and losing, and you still maintain your enthusiasm. This is such a good definition for mental toughness because typically when you think of mental toughness, you picture someone with a face like, that seems a little too intense. And that's not the face you want to be making when you're trying to become this personable individual. That's not how charismatic people look. Charismatic people have this charm to them, and they're not always looking so freaking serious. So I like that definition of mental toughness. It's maintaining your enthusiasm despite losses. Now, when you think about that, doesn't that remind you of another word? For me, it does. That definition reminds me a lot of optimism. I mean, optimism, what is it? It's feeling hopeful for the future. So in many ways, mental toughness and optimism are tied with one another. If you're thinking about what does mentally tough people, like what does it really mean? Because it's a very ambiguous term, think optimism. So the golden question, how does one become optimistic? You want to know how? Gratitude. Now wait. Before you turn this video off, let me explain. I too don't like that word gratitude too much. It sounds like a very hokey pokey term. I get it. But it works. It works. It's not only mentally good for you, but it's also physically good for you. And let's not forget, it's emotionally good for you as well. If you don't like the word gratitude, you can just view it as mental toughness workouts, whatever floats your boat. But gratitude works at the end of the day. You may be wondering, why does gratitude work? Or better yet, before we even talk about that, what is gratitude? Gratitude, in a very simple term, is counting your wins, making yourself aware of your wins or acknowledging your wins. However you want to say it, it's acknowledging your wins. So let me break it down. I want to give you an analogy real quick for you to understand how important this is. Imagine if I came up to you and I gave you a lot of bricks, just a pile of bricks. How are you going to act? You're probably going to be thinking, yo, Armani, why the hell are you giving me all these bricks? These bricks are useless. Okay, so that's situation number one. Situation number two, let's flip it up. Now imagine if I have the bricks and I begin cementing them one by one by one, and eventually all those bricks plus the cement turns into a magnificent tower. And this time I come to you and I'm like, hey bro, this is for you. How are you going to think now? You're going to be pretty impressed. You're going to think, Whoa, Armani, you're giving me that tower? Why though? I mean, what's the difference? I mean, both are bricks. But there's one difference. The second one has cement, and the second one is formed into a tower. What does this all imply? Well, what this implies is that your bricks are the wins, and the cement is your acknowledgement. Your wins alone are just like the bricks alone. They don't mean anything. But the bricks, aka the wins, with the cement, aka acknowledgement, now you're going somewhere. So from here on out, what you want to start doing is you want to start making yourself aware of your wins. And here's the thing. Here's an exclusive insight. It doesn't matter what kind of win it is. Don't see big wins or small wins. Just see wins. For example, these videos, if these videos get at least one view, just one, I consider it a win. I consider it a win. If this channel just gets one subscriber, I consider it a win and I acknowledge it. And you keep doing this because think about it like this. How are you going to be grateful for the big wins if you can't be grateful for the small wins? We often try to just go straight for the big wins, but that's a big mistake. Because if you're just willing to feel grateful for the big wins, like say, I'm only going to feel grateful when I get my engineering degree. That's a pretty big win, right? Then you're only conditioning yourself to be grateful for big stuff in your life. And you're going to completely overlook the small wins that are taking you to that big win. So from here on out, don't discriminate wins. A win is a win. And when you start thinking like this, no matter what happens, it doesn't matter if you get booed off stage, it doesn't matter if someone's rude to you, it doesn't matter if there's mean comments coming your way on your social media platforms, whatever the case is, you still have your enthusiasm, aka your mental toughness. So use these tips in this video, apply it, and I guarantee you, you're going to feel more confident over time. These are ways, the practical ways, mind you, to improve your confidence, self-worth, self-image, and become a better communicator along the way. Because you want to know something? Most people aren't as confident as you think they are. They're actually very unconfident because confidence is a conscious act. It requires a lot of work. It requires a lot of dedication, a lot of practice. You think the masses are doing that? No. So make yourself special and make yourself the 1% that is applying these tips. If this video helped you, then guess what? Concepts like this, the brick cement mentality, are concepts that I cover in the level up mentality, a complete blueprint on how to re-engineer your mindset for confidence. Unfortunately, in school, we learned about a lot of topics, but we were never taught how to be confident, how to build mental toughness, how to exercise optimism into our existence and maintain enthusiasm so we can become more likable, more charming, more personable. Well, luckily, the level up mentality will take care of that for you. To grab your copy today, go on over to the description box and hit the link. There's going to be a copy for PDF, or you can get your copy from Amazon via paperback or Kindle. Don't miss out. Hop on over to the description box and seal your deal today. Thank you, my friend, for joining the ArmaniTalks YouTube channel, and I'll catch you on the next episode.